And right now at 6, a semi filled with plastic wrap crashes near Rolla, Missouri.
And we are chilly this morning, but much warmer into the afternoon. We'll finally get to see more of this snow clear on out. And look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a tragic loss brings the community together for a special tribute tournament.
4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday, February the 2nd. It is Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Just for the record, because I spent my entire childhood, it was Groundhog's Day. But I learned in recent years is singular. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you were making sure people knew that this morning. You were making sure I knew it was Bill Murray and not
Tom Hanks. I know.
I'm sorry.
Tom Hanks.
It was a rom-com. Tom Hanks and
okay, yeah, but
I'm sorry.
Look, Tom Hanks did, like You've Got Mail and Big and things like that. Yeah, and Sleepless in Seattle, but not Bill Murray.
Would be one thing if, like I said, like Ryan Gosling. I at least had like a right era.
Okay, that's true. I'll give you that.
They're very similar. Very different, but very similar.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't think that Bill Murray could have
Chris.
played Woody in Toy Story, but whatever.
No, that's true.
It made me cherish my toys even more, because then I felt more bad for them, because I'm like, oh, well, now they're going to feel left out if I don't take them on the trip. So Toy Story, man, changed an entire generation of kids. We are waiting on Punxsutawney Phil. He should be up and out at 6:07 our time. So we have about 6 minutes and 12 seconds. In the meantime, we're going to talk about some weather. We're going to talk about some news. And we've got some weather to start with our live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. You see that snow? It's been a week and a day, and it's still there. It was on my street this morning. It's still in my driveway. It's on my roof. It's still in places. But it won't be for much longer, because things are going to start to warm up. Westco Camera 7th and Rangeline, wouldn't you know it, there's snow. Now, the snow piles and parking lots, it's going to take time anyway, but there's still snow there too. And KDOT Camera, US 69, just north of Baxter Springs. Wouldn't you know it, snow still hanging around. Now, thankfully, a lot of the roads are pretty darn clear. But, like I said, my neighborhood street, I'd say it's probably 50-50. Half of it still has some snow on it. The other half of it's pretty clear. But with our temperatures later today, it's going to look a lot better. We are a little cooler up north. We got some low 20s out there. Mid-20s are the average, so a little colder. 16, though, in Stockton. You are the cold spot. Then we head south. We get into the mid-20s, right about where we should be. Even some low 30s. Take a look at Cassville, the warm spot now at 34 degrees. And future track showing southerly winds, clear skies to start, and then clouds begin increasing through the afternoon, and by late afternoon into the evening we become mostly cloudy out there, but we are dry otherwise. Kids heading out the door this morning, upper 20s, will go upper 40s by lunch and recess, and I like that number. Low 50s as they head home later today. It's where our highs are headed for most of us. We'll go mid 30s by 9, upper 40s by noon, again low 50s for those highs, south winds 5 to 10. Now we do have a weak cold front coming through tomorrow morning. We'll drop our temperatures a smidge, and then we're going to warm right back up on the other side of that. Details on how much warmer it's going to get in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A semi loaded with present steel plastic wrap crashed yesterday evening. The tractor trailer struck bridge overpass pillars and the driver was entrapped. The truck initially caught fire, but bystanders were able to put out the flame using a fire extinguisher. Emergency services located the heavily damaged semi with the occupants still trapped inside, suffering traumatic injuries. Crews quickly extracted the driver, who was flown from the scene. Bridge inspectors designated the structure as safe for continued travel. A train collision and derailment shut down tracks near Missouri-Kansas line. 2 trains collided over the weekend near Mulberry, Kansas and Burgess, Missouri. 2 tanker cars carrying a heavy asphalt-like material, a grain hopper, and a locomotive derailed. Some grain spilled, but no injuries were reported. Authorities have not yet given an estimate for when service will resume, but for now, the main line is not operating through the area. The cause of the collision is under investigation. Firefighters battle a house fire in Frontenac over the weekend. The blaze started as a chimney fire but quickly spread into the attic of the home. Crews used ladders and hoses in near freezing temperatures. Officials say the home suffered major damage. The residents are displaced, but no injuries were reported. Our stories are often discovered by you, our viewers. We invite you to share your news tips with us. Scan the QR code and you'll be taken to a form where you can submit a tip quickly and easily. Thank you for being part of the story. The USD 250 Foundation distributed nearly $25,000 in grant funding to support the district's teachers. Priority is given to grant applications that enhance structured literacy and standard skills for state assessments. John Bartlow, the president of the USD 250 Foundation, says that the grants let teachers branch out from budget concerns and try new things in the classroom.
Those projects that teachers put the grants in for, I mean, they vary from things related to STEM, things related, of course, to reading, things related to different sorts of science projects, and really, I mean, some really incredibly innovative programs that our teachers are doing.
Awarded teachers received their grants at a reception that took place earlier last week. Bartlow says he would like to thank those in the community whose generosity has continued to fund the foundation. Well, children were able to put their creativity and building skills to the test at a hands-on construction challenge hosted by Pittsburgh State University. Students in grades 1 through 6 were given a limited set of materials and just 1 hour to design something related to construction. Organizers say the goal was to make learning fun while introducing kids to careers in the building trades.
So they have 100 Legos, a piece of string, a rock, and some aluminum foil to build something construction related. So sometimes they'll build houses, sometimes they build bulldozers, cranes, towers, whatever their imagination can come up with, and they have an hour to do it.
Well, it is our favorite kind of morning.
Yes.
I mean, you only get to do it once a year.
Exactly.
You only get to celebrate the groundhog really once a year.
And he should be out about now. It's 6:07 and about 13 seconds now, and we are anxiously awaiting the arrival of Punxsutawney Phil. Our director Tim has informed us that they are still dancing around. I don't know what that means exactly, but
we know they do. Oh, okay. That is, they are dancing around.
They certainly are. Okay.
It looks like a magic show. They look like magicians.
I like
but
the guy.
It looks like a fun guy.
Look at a guy in the suit jacket with the stars. He's got a groundhog hood thing on. Wow, this is a celebration, and
look, they should only be that happy.
Can you imagine though, like somebody just having a party outside your house like this once a year? Like
it's early.
At the crack of dawn, you've got the whole city's lined up outside your house, and they are jamming, and you're in there just sleeping. Like, why are you here? We're going to hold up for just a couple of seconds. We have a little bit of time here, so we're going to wait and see if we can get him out. He's supposed to appear like a minute ago, but I mean, when you're really in the groove, it's hard to stop the groove.
Yeah, I mean, he's feeling the vibes.
It's certainly so. I mean, okay.
I mean, he's having a grand old time.
He is singing. Oh, look at this. It is. Was that fire? Oh, okay, yeah, that's fire. I thought it came out of his hat.
Oh,
Thankfully,
okay.
It did not. There's something back behind them it's shooting flames. See, that's what I'm saying. Imagine being that poor guy. He was in your house, man, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the entire neighborhood shows up, and they start setting fire to your lawn.
This looks really intense.
It does.
Like, I would not come out either. No wonder Phil's
kidding.
not out.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
They stopped.
They stopped.
Oh.
Is it time for Phil? Is it Phil's
Is
moment?
it? We still have a little bit of time. For you folks at home, we intentionally made some room here for Punxsutawney Phil.
Is it time? Okay, so we know.
No, they're still singing. We may end up missing it because, we still have more news and weather to get to.
I mean, but clearly the groundhog is the most important thing
It is. What?
Today, right?
Why does this person have a sword?
Are they going to fight Phil?
All right, we're going to have to give it a few more seconds.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
flames.
God! And they're back into the. Okay, so poor Phil is not going to emerge just yet, but if he does, we'll certainly let you know what he sees. And that's a look at our top stories in weather and Phil.
And we still have more news coming up on the KOA Morning News. Not only are we watching Phil, but a major entertainment venue is planning to shut down on the nation's 250th birthday. We're gonna have those details. Plus, Republican candidates for governor in Kansas face off in their first debate of the campaign season. And snow is finally starting to melt in the 4 states. Chris will have a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Plus, we've got Lori in the studio showing us another delicious recipe. We can't wait. Topping Nation Watch, President Trump says the Trump Kennedy Center will be closing down for 2 years to undergo major renovations. The president says the entertainment venue will be shuttered on July 4th, the nation's 250th birthday. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said he decided to suspend operations as, quote, the fastest way to bring the Trump Kennedy Center to the highest level of success, beauty, and grandeur. The decision follows a wave of cancellation since he terminated the previous leadership team and added his name to the building. Trump announced his plan days after Melania, a documentary about the First Lady, premiered at the venue. The Kansas GOP convention kicked off Friday in Wichita. This year, people got to listen to some of the crowded field of candidates who are running for Kansas governor. Ana Valdez was there at the event and has more.
The Republican Party in Kansas hosted the first debate among some of the candidates who want to become governor. People we spoke to at the convention say the debate helps them make a decision on their vote.
I think the speakers got plenty of time to lay out where they stand and to take each other to task a little bit.
Some of the topics in the debate included the use of star bonds in Kansas, the relations between the state and federal government, education, the legalization of marijuana, and abortion, among others. Attendees say it is important to ask the candidates the hard questions.
I think it's really important to see those things, and I think it's really important to get an honest point of view from every single person and give everybody a fair look.
Some attendees say they even got to learn from new candidates and hear their proposals.
I enjoyed the debate, got to know some candidates that I didn't know anything about, so I really felt inspired about that.
Attendees say the convention and the candidates might help to revitalize the Republican Party ahead of the governor's race.
I think the Republican Party in Kansas is fired up, and I think it's a good time to be fired up with the governor's race coming.
They say the debate also helps them notice who is prepared and who is not.
I feel like, unfortunately, most people don't do enough of that, really do their homework. So this is why I think it's important to come to these things.
And with a long list of candidates running for governor, they say it is important to be informed and register to vote.
Just remember to get registered to vote and vote. It doesn't matter what.
The 2026 general election is November 3rd, with the primaries are August 4th. Well, still to come, a major health organization releases its annual report card on tobacco use with mixed results. Plus, snow is finally starting to melt here in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. Welcome back. We've got Lori Langley in the studio today, and she's showing us another one of her delicious recipes, this time for peanut butter poke cake. Good morning.
Yes, you know, this is kind of a classic. I don't know if it's a regional around here, but I really grew up with doing a lot of different kinds of poke cakes.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, something where we're going to add either a jello or a pudding, different types of things on top of that hot cake. So pretty basic, but so good. This one is kind of 3 steps or 3 layers to it. So we're going to start out very, very simple this morning, and you've got a couple options. We are going to do a chocolate cake base. You could absolutely do this with vanilla if you preferred, but you know, that peanut butter chocolate,
Yes, classic.
you can't go wrong, right? So what I did was start out with just a normal chocolate cake. You can use whatever brand, whatever type that you want, and actually just did a cola cake. So we do a box of cake mix and a can of pop. Whatever kind of cola you prefer, Coke, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, it really doesn't matter, but you want to use a cola. And if you want to use a bigger bottle like I did, that's about 1.5 cups of liquid. And that's it. Don't add any eggs, don't add any oil, nothing else. Do not follow directions in this instance.
Follow Lori's instructions.
Follow my instructions. It will lead you astray every single time. But just that cake mix and cola will give you a really nice smooth batter. And then we're going to pour this into a regular 9x13 pan.
Perfect.
I actually did 3 boxes of cake mix, to do 2 cakes because I wanted a little bit thicker amount of cake in there. So you're going to get a little bit thinner cake if you just go with the 1 box and the 1 can of pop, which is fine. It's just personal preference on that. So if you look at these when you go to bake it and you say, man, yours was taller in the pan, this is about 1.5 boxes actually when you go to do that. You're going to spray your pan like normal, pour that batter in there. It bakes at 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes, again, depending on if you do the thinner cake, it's going to be a little less, of course. If you make a little bit thicker one, it's going to take a little bit longer, but you're going to do that classic toothpick test. When you think it's done, it's not jiggly in the middle anymore, check that and make sure it comes out clean. While the cake is warm, you can take the back of a wooden spoon. I've got one of these like really fat straws that I just always save and use. And you're gonna poke holes in that cake while it's nice and warm. Kind of evenly spaced, you know, just get a good distribution there. And then we are going to make, when we come back, a peanut butter sauce that we would pour on there. And it's really important that you do that while the cake is warm. And that's why I have a second one here that I did last night. Because it really kind of soaks into that cake while it's nice and warm.
Instead of just sitting there.
Exactly. It's going to be really good. And we're going to do this one. I'm going to show you how that sauce comes together. And we are going to put that on there. And it's still going to be so yummy. But you really get that extra sort of combination of flavors when you do it while the cake is warm.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we stick with the 9x13 normal size pan on that. And then we are going to have a wonderful frosting top layer as well. But nothing out of the ordinary. Use a regular pan or aluminum. And you're going to be good to go on this one. It's perfect for gifting or taking to those potlucks.
Incredible. I can't wait to see how this one comes together. Well, thank you so much, Lori. We're going to be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
All right, so Phil has made his appearance, actually, or got a live look from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. There he is. So we've got a delay on the audio. I'm kind of listening to it off to the side. I don't know if we've determined if he's seen his shadow just yet. Look, after the last couple of weeks, I am happy to make this the biggest weather story of the day, is whether or not this groundhog manages to see his shadow or not. So let's see here. They're talking to him. I said I've got a slight audio delay where I am listening, but... Okay, so they probably already checked it. I don't know how they do this. I've never watched it all the way through. I know that this is probably not the most earth-shattering thing for everybody, but let's see. Hold on here. I think we're getting ready to get an answer. Tim, can we bring up the live view audio? Okay. Like I said, I've just got a big delay here. Come on, guys. I'm so sorry. Here, we're getting to this. And don't worry, we're going to get your full forecast in. What's the scroll he's reading? We're a bit delayed on the audio. But, come on, man. Read the scroll.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now on this February 2nd, Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his wintry nap
This
at
is a little
dawn on
long-winded.
Gobbler's Knob. Phil looked to the skies and then, speaking in groundhogese, directed President Dunkel to the proper scroll, which reads, "It's my great honor to answer your annual call. So I rise again this morning to greet you all. But today I wake thinking of numbers and time. America turns 250 and I'm at least 139. Let's celebrate all, young, old, babies, or millennial, and kick off America's semi-quincentennial. We look to the future and not just the past, so I suppose this party could use a forecast. It is my job this February 2 to look to the skies and report back to you that there is a shadow here on my ground."
Okay, so of course then they cut to an ad in the middle of that. So there we have it. Punxsutawney Phil has seen his shadow. All right, there we go. So that was long-winded. Let's talk about what's going on in our area, and I won't be nearly as long-winded. That was a long scroll. Imagine if we did the weather that way. All right, clouds will be increasing. Clear skies to start the day. We'll start to go mostly cloudy as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours. These clouds hanging around overnight into tomorrow. Early tomorrow morning, we do get a weak cold front coming through. And what we mean by that is it's not a big temperature drop with it, and it is going to be a dry front. We'll continue with cloudy skies throughout our Tuesday and into our Wednesday as well, with our winds shifting out of the north with that front. I know Future Track's hinting at these flurries, but don't worry about that. Honestly, temperatures Wednesday are going to be a little too warm for that. But we will continue with cloudy skies out there. Getting our day started, upper 20s. The mid-40s by 11 a.m. We're looking at highs today, pushing into the low 50s. That's a number we can live with. Low 30s tonight, so cold, but above average. Mid-40s Tuesday, low 40s Wednesday, so again, pretty close to average. It's a drop, but an average drop. Same with our lows, back into the mid-20s, right where they should be. And it's short-lived, though. Take a look at what happens after that. We are into the upper 50s, close to 60 by Friday. Rain chances on Sunday, Wednesday as well, and by the second half of next week, we could be looking at the low 60s. So definitely at least an early spring for us, albeit maybe brief, and we'll finally get this snow out of here after a week or so of it hanging around. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. It's called the State of Tobacco Control, an annual report card that grades state and federal efforts to reduce tobacco use. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains why experts are worried that the hard-won progress in tobacco use prevention may be at risk.
In its newly released annual report card, the American Lung Association says smoking rates for adults dropped from just over 23% in 2000 to below 11% in 2023. And while youth tobacco use is at its lowest level in 25 years, more than 2 million middle and high school students still use tobacco, including e-cigarettes.
Certainly not necessarily something a report card you'd want to bring home to your parents.
Despite major strides, tobacco use remains the leading cause of preventable death and disease in the U.S., claiming more than 490,000 lives every year. And the report warns progress could quickly unravel due to changes in tobacco use prevention and cessation efforts.
I want to see us continue to fight and drive down smoking rates so nobody has to deal with the consequences.
When it comes to regulation of tobacco products and coverage of treatments to help people quit smoking, the report gives the federal government a D. It received an F for the level of federal tobacco taxes and an I for incomplete on mass media campaigns aimed at preventing and reducing use. A B was given for funding tobacco prevention and control, and state grades were also a concern.
No state got all A's, but there were a few. They got the few best states, including California, Colorado, Delaware, D.C., Maine, and Massachusetts. And then the states with the worst grades, scoring Fs in all 5 grading categories, were Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, and Alabama.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a chili cook-off honors a beloved veteran while supporting a meaningful cause.
And snow still hanging around in some spots. Should be gone before too much longer as temperatures warm up. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a Joplin baker uses her hobby to help those in need.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning Show. It's 6:33. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Groundhog Day, February the 2nd, Monday. And Phil, who, by the way, is long-winded in his scrolls.
I didn't know he was such a poet.
Word, I didn't know it was going to take long.
But, they said he was 139 years old. And, when you get to that age, he's evidently old and wise, even if I do not like what he has to say.
Yeah, no, this time he did see a shadow. So it says 6 more weeks of winter. No. So we'll see what happens here. I will say at least the next couple of weeks, no winter in sight for us other than some of that lingering snow out there, but long-range data, and it's very long-range, just hinting at additional snow later this month, but we'll have to wait and see because, it's very long-range and a lot can change. Yeah. So maybe Phil will be wrong. It'd be nice.
Be nice.
Phil, definitely wrong, at least for us, for the next week or so as temperatures begin to warm up, and that starts today. We will start with our look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Like I said, I was really kind of just expecting a pretty short-term thing of, all right, here he is, and he saw his shadow. 6 more weeks of winter, guys. But no, there was like a 4-page scroll, like a textbook of information from him, but it was still pretty cool to see. All right, live look downtown Pittsburgh. Skies right now, again, are clear, but they will not remain that way. Westco camera, 7th and Range Line in Joplin, clear skies. In fact, there's the moon right over there. And the KDOT camera, 69, just north of Baxter Springs. There's some snow. There's the road. There's a car coming. The roads, like I said, most of the main roads are pretty clear. We've still had some snow on the neighborhood streets, like mine is 50-50. There's some really clear spots, and then you get into other sections where it's still covered in some of that snow and even ice from some of the melting that then refroze. Temperatures this morning, cold up north, low 20s, really cold. Stockton, 17 degrees is the cold spot right now. Average lows in the mid-20s. Most of us are pretty close to that. Joplin, the warm spot, though, tied up with Bentonville, both sitting at 31 this morning. Clouds will begin to increase this afternoon. We start going partly cloudy, and then by late afternoon into the evening, we will go mostly cloudy, but we will remain dry and with a southerly breeze helping us with our temperatures, and they look like this. Kids out the door, we're looking at the upper 20s, upper 40s by lunch and recess, low 50s as they head home later today, so not bad at all. We're going to go about the mid-30s by 9, upper 40s by noon. Again, low 50s for most of us for those highs. Clouds increasing, south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, we have a weak cold front coming in tomorrow morning. It's going to drop our temperatures a smidge, and then we're going to turn around and warm right back up. We'll have a look at all that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. In Joplin, a local sourdough artisan is donating sourdough loaves to local blessing boxes. Beth Brandstetter started her idea back in late 2025 during the government shutdown. She tried setting a stand-up at a local blessing box where she could pass out bread personally, but noticed folks weren't stopping. We have more on that story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The annual Oarless No Paddles Bryan Chili Cook-Off brought veterans, riders, and community members together for friendly competition, all for a meaningful cause. The cook-off, hosted by the American Legion Riders Kansas Chapter 35 in the American Veterans Motorcycle Club, honors No Paddles, a longtime member who helped make the event a tradition. While he passed away 6 years ago, organizers say his spirit and passion for supporting veterans continues to drive the event forward. Well, concerns and questions over the living conditions, insurance, and the ownership of an extended stay motel on the Branson Strip. Chris Bryan traveled to Branson to see what's happening and what the city is doing to address the problem.
One of their local residents work in the area, and they were concerned that bed bugs, roaches, the fire problems, things like that, they're having problems with their fire suppression.
Anita Williams has been working with those who live in the 76 Family Inn on the 76th Strip in Branson, and those living in the motel tell her the owner has become an absentee landlord.
He is, and he's still having the manager take rent payments even though he doesn't have a license.
The city of Branson declined my request for an interview, but in a statement confirmed the city issued a citation to the owner last week for operating without a business license. And the city's Building Services Division conducted an initial follow-up inspection and issued a notice and order for observed code violations. Inspectors also visited the location this morning. The city says it will remain actively engaged to ensure the property's compliance with city codes. People who live in the motel noticed this letter taped to the window of the office stating the owner has 5 business days to comply with getting a valid business license. They also shared photos from inside the rooms showing some of the concerns. I called the number listed for the owner of 76 Family Inn, but it did not go through.
No, he's not. He's not even in the country. From reports that we got from the city yesterday, he's in India.
When asked about the city plans to shut down the property or if the city thinks it's safe to live in, a city spokesperson said, "We will be providing more information as it becomes available."
The locals don't have the extra money. You know, they set up themselves to where they would be okay or thought they would be okay through the winter, but the conditions have gotten so horrid in there that they are being eaten alive and swallowed alive.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Jetsons become reality as electric flying taxis prepare for takeoff in major cities. In Consumer Watch, forget bumper and brake lights. The next evolution of ride-hailing may happen overhead. New electric air taxis are being tested as a faster way to move through busy cities. Evan Moon shows us what the future could look like with highways in the sky.
To beat the traffic, a new kind of taxi is preparing for takeoff. UK-based Vertical Aerospace is looking to make air travel easy with all-electric helicopters designed for short city trips.
You have to think about highways in the sky. Like if we go back 30, 40 years, we had the Jetsons, right? 10 years ago, people thought this was science fiction.
Capable of flying 150 miles per hour for 100 miles, CEO Domhnall Slattery tells us by 2028, Vertical will have dozens of its Velo aircraft in major U.S. cities.
The barrier with helicopters has been it's too noisy and it's too expensive. Here, 100 times quieter than a helicopter at a price point the regular person can afford.
Vertical's goal is to make air travel practical, not exclusive. Slattery compared the price for one seat to an Uber Black.
Manhattan to JFK, somewhere around $150 per seat.
They're betting big on airport commuters, like promising flights from downtown Manhattan to JFK in just a few minutes. And with plenty of space for your luggage, 6 checked bags and 6 carry-ons.
New Yorkers checking out a Velo model see the potential.
To see the concept of a flying car come to life in Manhattan and kind of like alleviate some of that difficulty just getting around the city is like awesome. And as a New Yorker, something I'm very excited about.
A vision of the near future that could look a lot like the Jetsons.
It lands on the roof of your office building, you get in the elevator, you pop in, and it takes you home. It literally will be as ubiquitous as that.
Just around the corner, a commute above the clouds. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
That's it for Consumer Watch. And now here's Chris with a quick look.
Again, we've got clear skies to start the day, but clouds will begin increasing across the area as we head through the afternoon and evening. Temperatures above normal today, a little warmer, closer to normal tomorrow, then warming back up again, a little up and down the next couple of days. We'll break it all down for you and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries right after this. Time now, 6:44. All right, time for some Monday birthdays, and we're going to start in Frontenac with Brody Longan celebrating birthday number 3. Happy birthday.
And Ronan William Del Antonio is celebrating birthday number 4. It says, love Mom, Dad, Mika, and Creed. Happy birthday, Ronan.
And Jonathan Ballou celebrating number 4 as well in Fort Scott. Happy birthday, Jonathan.
And in Galena, Kinsley Hawkins is celebrating birthday number 5. It says, with love, Mom and Dad. Happy birthday, Kinsley.
And we have Ellie Lampy celebrating birthday number 9 in La Harpe. Happy birthday.
And in Webb City, Lakey Bo Bakey is celebrating birthday number 12. Happy birthday.
And in Frontenac, Carson Bailey celebrating birthday number 17 with love from Mom and Bryce.
And in Liberal, Joy Creed is celebrating birthday number 18. Happy birthday, Joy. It says, love Mom, Dad, and Kendall.
And our neighbor in Crest Line, Lane Moore, celebrating birthday number 22. It says, happy birthday from your family.
And in Iola, Darren Reno is celebrating birthday number 57. It says, love from your family.
Heading over to Wyandotte, where Diana Commons is celebrating birthday number 63 today. Happy birthday, Diana.
And in Neosho, Vicky Punch is celebrating birthday number 71. Happy birthday, Vicky.
All right, another fantastic list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, if you'd like to celebrate with us, Samantha has some information you need to take down.
Yes, you should pay attention to this email that you can see on your screen. It's birthdays@komnewsnow.com. That's where you can send those photos, those birthdays, those anniversaries for yourself or a loved one. You can also send those special notes you want us to read as well. But do make sure you pay attention to the deadline, because that's where we're going to make sure that we're able to get it in plenty of time for you to be able to celebrate on your special day.
Absolutely. Important information there, and we've got some important weather information for you. The fact that the snow that has been, it's really overstayed its welcome, should start really clearing out today, and over the next few days, anything out there should start to go away, which will be nice. We like the snow. I like the snow to a point. But, I mean, this is the same snow from a little over a week ago, and it's still hanging around. It will clear out, though, as we warm up. Now, clouds beginning to increase by this afternoon. Will be partly cloudy through the afternoon hours, and by late afternoon, early evening, we start to go mostly cloudy. We will remain dry. We'll be mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Early tomorrow morning, a weak cold front passes through, so winds will shift out of the northwest and then eventually out of the north behind it. And we say weak cold front because of two things. One, it's dry. There's nothing associated with it in terms of precipitation. And two, because the temperature drop associated with it is marginal. In fact, it's at most going to take us back at or just a hair below normal over the next couple of days. So it's not a powerful front, and it's not bringing in some of that Arctic air like we've seen the last couple of weeks. However, it does keep the clouds hanging around. We are looking at mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy skies throughout the day Tuesday. That'll continue Tuesday night into Wednesday morning around the area. Now, we've talked about Future Track for a weird reason is throwing up, and you see how they just like that? It's showing up these little flurries. While it's not impossible, it is extraordinarily unlikely that we're going to see any wintry precipitation, because although this front again is bringing our temperatures back a bit as we head into tomorrow and Wednesday, it's not going to bring them back enough, especially during the daytime, that we'll see wintry precipitation of any kind out there. But we will hold on to cloud cover, so we're going to have that to hang around with for a while. All right. As for now, again, clear skies out there to start. You'd see the moon off to the far right side of your screen. No, it's your left side if you're looking at it, isn't it? It's my right side, your left. Clear skies, upper 20s to start. We'll go mid-40s by 11 a.m. Into the afternoon, look at these numbers. These are good numbers. We're into the low 50s for most of us, and of course, that means that some of you up north may be into the upper 40s, but either way, warm enough to start seeing some melting. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy through the evening, kind of locks us in through the mid-40s for a bit. And while we are cold tonight, that's still technically above normal. We should be in the mid-20s. We'll be into the low 30s for most of us. Northwest winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Over the next few days, again, it's a little colder. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're near average. Mid-20s are where our lows are supposed to be. We'll be pretty close to that. Wednesday, maybe a little cooler, upper 30s, low 40s, but not that far from normal. But it's a brief cool down, only a couple of days. And then look at these numbers, almost 60 by Friday. That looks pretty nice. We're into the 50s through the weekend, maybe some showers on Sunday and next Wednesday. Long-range data has been suggesting it, and it still seems possible. We're going to get a nice warm-up next week into the 50s, maybe even some low 60s out there, but I have a feeling our snow will be long gone before that time. So you get an opportunity to get outside and enjoy a little bit because it's still winter, and at some point it'll get cold again, I'm sure. All right. Let's check your forecast. When we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to tell you about an adorable calf that's warming up indoors, escaping the freezing temperatures. That story and more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up Recap for February 2nd, your top stories to start your day. A semi loaded with press and seal plastic wrap crashed into bridge overpass pillars yesterday evening, trapping the driver inside. Bystanders used a fire extinguisher to put out flames after the truck caught fire. Emergency crews extricated the driver, who was airlifted from the scene with traumatic injuries. Bridge inspectors later determined the structure was safe for continued travel. A train collision and derailment shut down tracks near the Missouri-Kansas line over the weekend. Two trains collided near Mulberry, Kansas and Burgess, Missouri, sending two tanker cars, a grain hopper, and a locomotive off the tracks. Some grain spilled, but no injuries were reported. The main line remains closed while authorities investigate the cause. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we are warmer today, going to get some of that snow out of here as we go into the low 50s. Clouds beginning to increase this afternoon. South winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening, mostly cloudy skies, hovering in the mid 40s for a bit. Cold, but above normal, back in the low 30s tonight. Northwest winds 5 to 10. A weak cold front comes through early tomorrow morning. And what we mean again is no precipitation and not a major temperature drop. While it will be cooler, these temperatures pretty close to normal tomorrow and Wednesday. We just have to deal with cloudy skies, so it's going to look a little blue out there, but that's okay. At least we'll get more melting done. Beyond that, it's a short cool down. We're back into the 50s, near 60 by Friday. Got some rain chances Sunday and Wednesday, and long-range data supports this. But toward the second half of next week, could get into the low 60s. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to some of that. I know Punxsutawney Phil saw a shadow. It means 6 more weeks of winter, and very long-range data, which is always subject to change, suggests a couple more waves of snow possible later this month. We'll worry about that when we get there if the data holds. But in the meantime, an opportunity to clear this snow out and maybe go outside. Enjoy it without freezing to death.
I'm just comparing this Monday compared to last Monday, and it's a world of difference.
It certainly is. Certainly is indeed.
Well, thanks, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making ravioli pesto pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, a look back on her hilarious career as tributes continue to pour in for comedian and award-winning actor Catherine O'Hara, who passed away Friday at the age of 71.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Lori Langley with Celebrations with Lori joins us in the studio as she shows us one of her sweet recipes, peanut butter poke cake.
And the community members gather for a benefit basketball tournament honoring a Girard teen lost to gun violence. It's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.